Welcome to the Butterfly Effect. I'm Chris Horner. This is Tour of the Basque Country, Stage 1, a 7.5 kilometer time trial here in the Basque Country. Incredibly technical, steep climbs, sharp turns up and down. They're technical even when you're going up, and they're extremely technical when you're going down. Now, the last 1K, extremely technical because we're talking cobblestones, right turns, hairpin turns on cobbles. It's going to be a fabulous course. Personally, I loved racing here in the Basque Country. I found this place as my second home. It was absolutely magical when you arrive here. The Basque fans are intense. They're incredibly intelligent when it comes to cycling, and they always come out in big herds on the big climbs, and especially on today's stage here at the 7.5 kilometer time trial. It's going to be an exciting day, and there's always a lot of big hitters when you're talking about the Basque Country. Keep in mind, the classics are up north right now, and it garners a lot of attention when you're talking the big classics, Tour of Flanders, Paris-Roubaix, and of course, all the magical semi-cobblestone races up there. But when you're talking the GC favorites, when you're talking all the big GC guns, down here at the Basque Country, this is a fabulous field of talent down here because it's not watered down with such a big, incredible field of sprinters, GC guys, and the rulers. It's really left up here with just big GC riders. So the battles are more intense when we get on the climbs, and things happen really rapid and fast when it comes to the attacks on the final climbs here at the Basque Country. Now when the cameras come on, it's Ineos Adam Yates that's in the hot seat here at the Basque Country for the Stage 1 time trial, and behind, G. Thomas is getting ready to leave. Now, Garrett Thomas throws in another fast time here, and it's Ineos setting the 1 and 2 times with Garrett Thomas timing, but taking a split second faster for Adam Yates to take the hot seat here at the Basque Country. Now, when you're looking at this, you see in the top 4 early here in Stage 1, Ineos are in a dominant position. 1, 2, 4, and I believe around 9th or 10th is their 4th place rider. You have Ben Toulet and Omar Fraley that are rounding out the top 10 here for Ineos Grenadiers. Now you're starting to wonder, wow, can Ineos Grenadiers do something fabulous here at the Basque Country, even though we have the Slovenian here, Primož Roglic? Remember, Ineos have not been able to beat one of the Slovenians at any point in time, with the exception of the time trials from Filippo Ganna at UAE Tour each year. Now, with that in mind, you're looking still at top 4. So when I'm sitting on the couch, I'm thinking, wow, Garrett Thomas looks really good. He's in the hot seat right here. And Ineos have 4 guys in the top 10. That's a big time ride. But there's more riders to come, of course, because we're early into the time trial. Next rider to leave, Alexander Vlasov will leave the start ramp, and he'll throw in a solid time on today's stage, only coming about a quarter of a second off of the 2 Ineos riders to slot himself into 3rd. After that, we start getting into one of the big time trial favorites. It's Remy Cavagna. And remember, he's a specialist, but he's at the Basque Country. And I know here at the Basque Country, because I won the time trial in 2010 here during the Basque Country, and it was much like today's course, not quite as technical, but very hilly and very difficult course. So when you're taking a pure time trial specialist like Remy Cavagna, when I'm sitting on the couch, I'm not certain if he can get up here and compete with the 2 Ineos riders of Adam Yates and Garrett Thomas's time. But Remy Cavagna, he comes through and takes 2 seconds off to take the hot seat away from the 2 Ineos riders and put a solid quick step rider into the 1st place here. Now, coming up next, we're going to see Julian Alaphilippe. Alaphilippe's time is not going to be spectacular to my disbelief. In fact, he's about 20-30 seconds off of his teammate's time up there when he crosses the line. He was disappointed at the first time split. Later, we come to find out he had a bike change through at some point in time during the time trial, so that explains his more than 30-second loss to his teammate Remy Cavagna. Jonas Vingegaard is the rider up next, leaving the ramp. He's Jumbo-Visma, and remember, he was second at the Tour de France. He was second here last year to his teammates Primož Roglic in that amazing battle and explosion from UAE Team Emirates on the last stage, where Primož Roglic took the leader's jersey back and Jonas Vingegaard finished second overall here at the Basque Country. So when I'm watching Jonas Vingegaard leave the start ramp, I'm wondering right now, who is the leader of Jumbo-Visma? Will it be this young kid, Jonas Vingegaard, or is it going to be the veteran Primož Roglic? Now we're seeing Jonas Vingegaard. He looks fabulous on the pedals, but when he comes through the finish, it won't be for a top time here at the Basque Country, but it will slot him solid into the top 10. A very respectable time for Jonas Vingegaard. Now we're going to see Marc Padun. Marc Padun's coming across the finish line, and to my disbelief, Marc Padun looks absolutely enormous here. There's not much definition on him. Clearly, he's not in shape. He's lost a minute and a half. And I'm bringing up Marc Padun because specifically, I remember him at last year's Basque Country putting in a big dig on the last stage 6 here at the Basque Country when it was Primož Roglic going up the road with the UAE Team Emirates chasing behind. Later, if you remember right, Padun put on fabulous 2-stage victories at Dauphiné, and then we didn't see him at the Tour de France. It wasn't again until Tour of Spain that we saw Padun, but he wasn't on that magical form that he had at Dauphiné. Now here at Dauphiné, here at the Basque Country now, it looks like he hasn't gotten his form right, and he's clearly underperforming here at the Basque Country with a minute and 20 off of the best time here at the Basque Country. Here we're going to see Primož Roglic warming up on the rollers as there's still some entertaining riders to leave some drama here at today's Stage 1 time trial. Next up, Pierre Latour, the French rider. He puts on a great display here. He's only 3 seconds off the race leading time at the first time check, and then as we go through the race, he starts losing a little bit more time and comes through the finish 9 seconds down, but was a solid ride from Pierre Latour and left a little bit of drama for his first time check split here in the Stage 1 time trial. Next up is Enric Mas. Now he's leaving the start ramp still with the tissues, the cotton swabs pushed up in his nose. That's to help the breathing, but you are supposed to pull him out before the start. So evidently he's a little bit nervous at the beginning on the start ramp as he rolls off the start ramp with the cotton swab still up in the nose. He'll pull a solid time at the finish, about 30 plus seconds back of the GC favorites when the race is all said and done, but won't be enough to dislodge Remy Cavagna, who's been sitting in the hot seat. Now, next up, Quick Step have another big star here. Remco Evenepoel is leaving the start ramp, and he looks fabulous. On the pedals, beautiful, aggressive out of all the corners. Coming through the first time check, 8 seconds faster than his teammate Remy Cavagna. Now we know he's looking fabulous every time check that comes. One time he's up by 12 seconds. A second later, he's up by 13 seconds. While that's happening, Primož Roglic, last year's winner here, the legendary Slovenian, is leaving the start ramp. But Remco Evenepoel at this point in time, when I'm seeing 11 seconds, 12 seconds, 13 seconds up on Remy Cavagna, his teammate, I'm thinking that Remco Evenepoel has this Stage 1 wrapped up. He's looking fabulous. But the commentators keep reminding me that Primož Roglic has not lost a time trial in Spain in the last couple of years, so there is still some drama to be left. Now, when Remco Evenepoel comes across the finish line, 11 seconds faster than Remy Cavagna, he is in the hot seat here. But remember, Primož Roglic, the Slovenian, is still out on the course. Now, Primož Roglic, through the first time check, he's down about half a second on Remco Evenepoel's time. So you start wondering, but it is a technical course. When we watch Primož Roglic, he is dicing up the corners, taking maximum risk throughout all the descents, all of the corners. When he gets near the finish of today's race, he's behind 1 second, then he's up 1 second. With just under a K to go, we see the massive crowds there and the camera angle coming from the bottom up of the back there of Primož Roglic as he's digging hard, and he's up by 8 seconds. Now it's a technical finish, and with 600 kilometers to go on cobblestones, Primož Roglic is taking maximum risk here. You look at his tires, you look at the crack as he's making the right turn. He's just barely missing the barrier with his shoulder. But when you go down and you look at his tires, there's a little crack there, probably about an inch drop into the gutter. And you look at his tires, he's right on the very edge of that, trying to get maximum time. Now, when he comes out of that corner, he's back on the pedals hard, and he flies through the next technical left. It's a hard left. He'll dig hard, take maximum risk again there, then back on the pedals. When he comes out of the right turn with about 125 meters to the finish, he's still got 10-second gap there up on Remco Evenepoel. When he crosses the line, he'll take the win here at Tour of the Basque Country Stage 1 in a 7.1 kilometer time trial to take a win by 5 seconds up on Remco Evenepoel. A fabulous ride by the Slovenian and well-deserved. The maximum risk that he took going through all the corners and descents certainly deserves the victory here on Stage 1. I was on the edge of the couch throughout the last 4 or 5 kilometers as Primoz Roglic was just laying everything out there. Now, Primoz Roglic will take first on the stage. Remco Evenepoel second, like I said. His teammate Remy Cavagna is third on the stage. Ineos have solid riders in the top 10 still. Adam Yates clearly has form. G. Thomas has good fitness here if he's this far up on the general classification already after today's time trial. He looks solid. Keep in mind when we're talking about tomorrow's Stage 2, it's a very long stage, but every stage here in the Basque Country always has something difficult for the riders to get over and to negotiate on the descents. It's a crazy race in here in the Basque Country, but it's my favorite place to be. It's the best GC field put together, bar none, with the exception of the Tour de France. Other than that, here at the Basque Country is the favorite place to be, and I think the hardest one-week stage race in the European peloton is right here at the Basque Country. So make sure you guys like and subscribe because Ineos have a solid team back there all up on GC to give the Slovenian Primoz Roglic and his Jumbo-Visma teammates a good run for their money here throughout the Basque Country. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next edition for Stage 2 of Tour of the Basque Country.